Craig from fixitfallows here, and today we are looking at one of my Christmas presents, the Amazfit GTS 2E digital tracking sports watch, smartwatch thingy-bob. So we got this off AliExpress and it came to the UK for the grand total price all in of £81, and it was a relatively quick delivery. Mid-December order, turned up in 2 weeks. So yeah, packaging's really good. It's quality piece, got loads of blurb on the back, blah blah blah, what it does, all that stuff. I'm not going to give you an unboxing. Who wants to see an unboxing? So let's get rid of that and let's actually bring the watch in. So that's the watch. Okay, it's a silicone strap, rubber strap, 20mm. Looks very much like an iWatch. There you go, that's the width of it. And it's one of these ones where if you press and hold the screen, you can change the displays like so. So there's a load preloaded, or you can go onto the app and download a load more. So anyway, that's that. So I've had this now, what is it, the 15th of January, and I got this to kind of replace my old TomTom, I think this is called a Spark Runner, something like that. Anyway, this is from 2014. It's one of those ones where you can take out the watch bit from the strap, get replacement straps. This has had several straps because I've had it 8 years, but it's a dedicated out and out sports watch with a large display there, but in like monochrome, sort of a fancy LCD screen. So that's that. That's what I've always done all of my running and cycling recording on. So I was very intrigued to see how this Amazfit would compare. So on the side you've got a button there, you can press that, double press it. I've got it set up to go to workouts. So they're my default workouts: running, walking, cycling. But there's a whole host of activities that you can put on there. Very customizable. You can have data presented on this watch however you really choose to a certain degree. So that's the watch face I have. It's one of those affairs that when it's on your watch, it will time out, and then you just give your wrist a flick and the screen comes back to life. You can swipe one way and it gives you certain information which you can tailor, or back to that screen you go up and it gives you notifications. So it tells me WhatsApp messages, email messages, I'm having a phone call. This particular model, which is the GTS 2E, does not have built-in microphone or speaker. So the functionality for voice control, taking calls on the watch, does not work on this one because it does not have a microphone or a speaker. But the software is kind of the same for this watch as it is to one of the other Amazfit watches that might well have mics or speakers. So just to be aware, because this doesn't have microphone or speakers, it is it's waterproof, maybe more than some of the other models. I'd have no qualms about going swimming in a swimming pool with this. There we go, just had a message coming through from AliExpress about something else I've ordered. Anyway, let's clear that off. Back to that screen. Yep, so up is for notifications and down is like some default things. So you can have your watch as a torch, takes you into some auto brightness, night setting, theatre setting. Theatre settings, I think, just makes the watch a bit quieter and the screen won't turn on every time you move your wrist, which could annoy your fellow theatre members. So since having it, I've pretty much had a cold. So I haven't been out doing much running, but I did today, and I'll show you some details of that in a bit. But what I have been doing is using the sleep tracking thing on this. So on the back you've got several sensors. You've got blood pressure, temperature, and some other bits and bobs. Those two silver dots there and there are for the charger. This is the charging cable. And there you go. It's quite long. I would say off the top of my head that was probably in the region of 80 to 90 centimeters long. and it can only go on one way, and it's magnetic. So if you try and put it on the other way, the magnets say no, no, no. See, won't engage. If I turn it around, bang, it just clips on, and it just plugs into a USB port. Battery life has been pretty good. I've had the constant heart rate monitoring on it, and it has been lasting about 6 days, which I think is pretty good. I would caveat that by saying that during those 6 days I didn't do any runs. I did do the odd dog walk for a mile or so, and that all was included in the 6 days of battery life. So yeah, it's a nice colourful screen. What can I show you? So yeah, heart rate measuring, scroll up, gives you a bit more details, all the different heart rate zones if you're into that sort of stuff. You can set alarms, obviously, tells you your body temperature because it monitors that, gives you weather updates. Now the weather updates and stuff, this is not a data connected watch in itself. It has to connect to the app on your phone. So as long as it's connected to the app on your phone, then you'll get this data. So there you go, it's just timed out to my normal screen. So if I flick it back up, it's a bit hard. There you go, it's come back on. So you can get sunrise, sunset time. So at the moment it's telling us that this sun cycle is about 2/3 of the way through. So sun rose at 7:58 this morning, due to set at 4:20. Don't you just love the winter? Not. Yeah, today's cloudy, low of 1, high of 8. Tomorrow's going to be cloudy and it's getting colder. So yeah, look, it gives you a 7-day forecast. Amazon Alexa. Now I can't use that on this particular model because it doesn't have a microphone. But I think it might work if you connected it to your phone and uses your phone microphone, but then you might as well just use your phone in the first place. What else we got? Yeah, it can do blood oxygenation levels, stress levels, multitude of sports and activities. And as I said, it's quite customizable. You can program what the double click does on the side. I've got it to default to workouts. So yeah, very comfortable on the wrist. The straps come off by sliding that little slide pin there. You can take the strap off, and there's a whole host of different straps you can buy online. So as I say, this come delivered to me via AliExpress to the UK for 80 quid, which, you know, that's pretty cheap for a watch of this capability. So is it any better or is it more advanced? Can I live with it compared to the TomTom? Let's take it out for a run and see what it does. Right, so finally, after Christmas, I've finally shaken my cold off enough that I'm going to take the Amazfit GTS 2E for my run. So I'm going to be wearing this. I'm also still wearing my TomTom Runner that I've had for 6 or 7 years. And we're going to do a compare and contrast. So, trainers are on. Let's get out and do it. So first things first, we're going to go outside and we're going to see how long it takes for it to get satellite lock, because I do find that with these watches, it was always the same with this one, that it doesn't like getting satellite lock inside a building. So let's go do it. Right, so let's get the TomTom working. So that's waiting, and then let's get this one working. So it looks to me like I can get going with the Amazfit, whereas the TomTom is still waiting for GPS. I'll let you know how I get on with those. Okay, I'm back from my run. It was a bit difficult because it's the first run I've done in over 6 weeks. I've been full of cold. Many of you, I think, have been suffering over the Christmas New Year period as well. So anyway, I got out there, I've done it. I've done my 5k, which is 3 miles, and I wore both these watches. So I wore the Amazfit GTS 2E, and I wore my long-suffering TomTom Runner, I think it's called, which I got back in 2014. So this is an out-and-out purpose sports tracking watch, a bit long in the tooth, but it's got a dedicated display, whereas this is intended to be a bit more of an all-rounder. So how did they both compare? Let's look at the stats that they both recorded. I did hope to upload both of them onto Strava to see in Strava's interpretation of both sets of data, but for some reason or another, this one uploaded, this one did not. What I would say is this uploaded extremely quickly. No sooner as I'd stopped the run, and the watch was already linked to the Zep app. As soon as I opened Strava, the run was already there. This, on the other hand, has always been extremely slow. So first of all, you have to link it to the TomTom app, and then it can take between 5 minutes and 15 minutes to update the data onto Strava. But anyway, the information is recorded just on separate apps. I'm going to attempt to show you how similar they were. So here we are with the two sets of data. On the left we have the TomTom watch data presented on the TomTom app, and on the right we've got the Amazfit watch data as presented on Strava. So we can see, if we zoom in a bit, that the GPS recordings were pretty much identical. There's a slight difference, if you can see there on this TomTom recording, where it says main road. I've come along on the green line heading to the left of the screen, and I've turned right into the section that's currently in sort of a goldy colour, and that's a hard right turn there. Now that is an accurate recording. When we look across to what the Amazfit done in a similar area, it seems to have just lost the plot ever so slightly and taken a diagonal line, and then got back on track. Now ultimately what that's done is the TomTom, which recorded accurately, has done 3.2 miles, whereas the Amazfit has recorded 3.15. So overall, both apps recorded an active time of 26 minutes and 8 seconds. That takes into account auto pause for any time I might have stopped at crossing a road, etc. So because of the slight difference in the distance being recorded, that has had a slight difference in the average pace for the overall run, with the TomTom app coming in at 8 minutes and 9 seconds per mile, and the Amazfit coming in at 8 minutes and 17 minutes per mile. So, you know, very, very close. I think looks like it's just down to that small little bit of GPS glitch on the Amazfit. Now, this is the first time I've used the Amazfit for a run. It'll be interesting to see whether there are any inconsistencies with recording GPS going forward. I'm just putting that down to a one-off glitch at this point. And in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't make a whole deal of difference. When you look at heart rate measuring on the TomTom app, 164 beats per minute average. On the Amazfit, 162, so very similar. What we've got, energy burn, calories, 332 TomTom, 351 on the Amazfit. And then all the distances, elevations, ascending, descending, blah, 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 all seems to be very much the same. So at this point, I'm feeling quite confident from changing from the TomTom, which I've used for the last 8 years. I'm quite confident that moving into the Amazfit will present consistent figures for me and won't show anything too wildly different. But I'll keep abreast and keep a monitor on the GPS side of things over the next couple of activities I do. You'll all be very familiar with the data that Strava presents. The Zep app presents loads of information, including cadence, average cadence, stride lengths, average stride length, all of your heart rate stats, everything you could want is all presented there. I must say it's very thorough. So there you go, that's the data presented. So here we are in the Zep app. It used to be called Amazfit app, but they've rebranded it Zep. This is the home page. So top left hand corner, it shows you your battery status on your watch. So I'm currently at 46%. It then shows you number of steps you've undertaken. You can click on the steps and you can go into the day, week, month, year, etc. Whole host of information there about that. So we come back out of there. Then it shows you your sleep patterns. So it breaks down your sleep score, gives you recommendations on how to improve things. For instance, click on this one and then you can see you can scroll through your sleep. It tells you light sleep, deep sleep, etc, etc. So a load of information there. You can record how you felt when you woke in the morning. You can record what your activity was before you went to sleep, so that when you look back across a selection of days, you can look for patterns in what gives you a good or bad night's sleep. Heart rate, again, you can click on that. You can go day, week, month, year, a whole host of information. Really quite in-depth stuff. PAI, which is like a rating of your health status score. It awards you a certain amount of points for certain activities. As I say, I haven't done a great deal of activities with this yet, so there's nothing too exciting for me to show you at that point. In terms of the watch itself, if you click on profile, it tells me that I'm using an Amazfit GTS 2 watch. Battery status 46%. If you click on that, it shows you the current watch face you're using. It also says their last charge 7 days ago, and I've still got 46%. In here you can alter and change lots of different settings in your watch. For instance, watch faces. There's some standard stuff there, but under each category you can click in and get even more. So if you can't find something in there, well, you must be a very picky person. Okay, so we'll come out of there and we'll go to health. It gives you a breakdown of targets. You can set targets, how you're meeting those. And then if we go, let me get to the actual run I did today. Let's see. If we go to, I'm just desperately trying to recall how to get there. Let's see, yes, so workout history, outdoor running. And there you go, there's that familiar route that I showed you just a moment ago. And it gives you a whole host of information. So pace, heart rate, you can see it in graph format should you wish to. Let's come back out of there. So each one of these categories you can see in a larger landscape format. All your heart rate zones, so I spent 94% of that run in the VO2 max range. Shows you your altitudes, gradients, cadence, so it tells you your steps per minute, stride lengths, etc, etc. So I'd be amazed if you didn't find sufficient data there to keep you happy. So yeah, you've seen how the data is presented on Strava and whatnot. So let me show you what is shown to you whilst doing a workout. So I'm just going to do a workout there. Let's do a run. So there you go, it's searching for GPS, and what I found is the moment you go outside, it's good to go. It connects up to GPS pretty quick. So if I hit go, it will start recording anyway. And the default there is to show you time elapsed, distance run, and I've got it set to show my pace. Now obviously I'm not running, so it's not moving. So I've got it also set up to auto pause. So anyway, let's continue that. Sorry, I'm trying to do it whilst looking through the lens of my phone rather than looking at the watch, so I was a little bit out of accuracy there. Yeah, it gives you your heart rate, and then if you scroll up, it tells you your average pace, your cadence, your actual speed in terms of miles an hour. and that's all stuff that's customizable, whether you want it metric or imperial. What else has it got? Altitude and total climbing. So it shows you quite a bit of information. And there's another page there. I'm not sure what that is. Pace diagram. Looks like it'll give you a graph maybe as whilst you've been running. So pretty good. For me, I must say it's just a little bit on the small side, the information that it presents, whereas on this TomTom, as you can see, it presents numbers, great big numbers like that. So I have it defaulting to show me my pace. I do find that really, maybe show my age, I need to have my glasses on. It's not too bad, but it's nice and bright in the outside as well. So there you are. All in all, I'm quite happy with it. So I've only had it for 2 weeks. I've done one run with it and it was perfectly fine and accurate. There was that little thing about the glitch of the GPS, so I'll keep an eye on that and see and give you any feedback I find. But all in all, yeah, I'd recommend this. For the money, good value. So until next time, thank you very much for tuning in. Please be sure to like and subscribe and check out some of my other videos. Cheers, guys.